Hello and welcome. You're watching another Eyes Open Network video. Today, I just wanted to touch on the concept that President Obama has enough nerve to blame the media, social media, and just general media for people's fear of Islamic State terrorists, ISIS and the like. I just found it utterly insulting, I suppose I would, considering that back in 2012, the U.S. government was fully aware that ISIS was being formed. They continued to fund them, give them weapons. It was all about having this extreme movement to oust Assad from Syria. Well, clearly that didn't work. 3 years later, we're still sitting here with Assad in power, and the Islamic State is just doing all kinds of crazy stuff all over the world. So, um, epic fail, Mr. President. So all I have to say is that don't turn around and try and put this on the media. Although I am not a huge fan of mainstream media because they have a tendency to um, you know make things so much worse than they are because they they also only uh, report on the news that they're allowed to report on. They get their skewed version of the story. They're all in such a rapid fire hurry to be the first one to report. They have a tendency to report nonsense before they report actual events. Sometimes you may find that here at the Eyes Open Network, we may not be the first to report on something, but that's only because we're trying to do some research and we're trying to find some answers and we're trying to find some truth to what it is that we're reporting on. And truth is, in 2012, the documents are available for anybody to see, that the U.S. government was well aware of this Islamic State situation, and they, you know, I guess gambled on the fact that ISIS could take over Assad, and that then the U.S. could come in and save the day, and then end up governing and ruling over Syria, which is ultimately what they want to do. So I just was reading this article and just found myself, taken aback and sitting there going, "What are you talking about?" As much as the media is sensationalizes all the little minor details of everything that's been going on in the past week with Paris and the lockdown in the different cities in Europe. It's still beyond reproach to try and blame the media wholeheartedly, like they're the only ones that are in charge, that have are responsible for the fear that U.S. citizens feel or Americans feel. It's not even logical. But because the average person who does not have their eyes open, which is why we encourage you to please send this information, have people take a look at the Eyes Open Network, share the YouTube channel, promote the fact that people need to open up their eyes, but you can do it in such a way that you're not pushing them away before they watch it, and that's an important part of what we want to do here at the Eyes Open Network. We just want to present the information the best we can without adding the fear factor. We just want to state it like it is. I don't want to have a conversation where I'm making you afraid. But I do want to have a conversation that's making you question whether or not you have all the information and whether or not you should go out and get some more. As we always say here at the Eyes Open Network, you should listen to all. That includes listening to me. That includes listening to the other anchors here at Eyes Open Network. That includes listening to mainstream media. That includes listening to all other alternative medias. That includes listening to whatever it is that you can get your hands on. But the second part of that puzzle is believe no one. Don't believe me. Don't believe other anchors here at Eyes Open Network. Don't believe mainstream media. Don't believe the newspapers. Don't believe anything. Listen to everyone, believe nothing, and then go and do your own research. So I've just told you that Obama's blaming the media. I've also mentioned in this video that in 2012 the U.S. government already knew about ISIS. Before ISIS was actually ISIS, they knew about the concept and what was going to happen in Syria. But they chose to do nothing. I've now made that statement. You heard me, so listen to me. Don't believe me. Go do the research yourself and find it out. And then form your own opinion. That's what we need to do here. We need more and more people listening, believing nothing, doing research, and coming up with their own opinion. And if everybody does the research and doesn't just listen to their neighbor Bob, they're going to find that their opinion becomes very similar to those in the alternative media. Not because we're right, quote unquote, but because we're doing the research. So we're looking at real live documents, real live information that says, you knew what about these extreme Islamic State terrorist type people in 2012? And because of your agenda to get your hands on Syria and the Middle East, you allowed this to happen? There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Iran is really, pushing hard to convince Putin that the U.S. is very, very bad. So, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I think that maybe we need to stop thinking that it's just the media's fault, right? And that's what the government wants you to think. They want the government wants you to think that the media is at fault, and that you should just relax and go back to watching your football, go back to taking your kids to soccer and baseball and hockey and all of the different little sports that they do. Just go back to watching The Voice, and go back to watching, your comedy, your sitcoms, and your TV. Go back to watching 3-4 hours of TV a day, and don't watch the media, because the media is bad and they're just trying to scare you. That's what the government would like. Sure, they want you to stick your head back in the sand so they can go back out to the Middle East and do whatever the heck it is that they want without anybody questioning them. So, consider all of that. Listen to what I've said. You don't have to believe what I've said. Do your own research. Form your own opinion. It's been another eye-opening video from the Eyes Open Network. Hope you have yourself an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.